Zambia Decides. We are back at the election cycle for 2026, and this time around is both the presidential and parliamentary election, which will be held in August. I believe it's August 13th, 2026. We hope that peace prevails, because you don't want, whenever there is an election, that there is confusion. People are doing what they're not supposed to do. And so far, I haven't heard anything like that. And we hope that is the case, so that people can flock to the ballot boxes and be able to write their names and be able to cast their ballots accordingly to the man and woman that they feel is the right person for the role. And for that, it takes me to why we are here today. Today we are talking to Priscilla Lungu. She is a young woman, passionate, dedicated to bring about change in Zambia, and she is standing as a councillor for Roma Township. So let's connect to Priscilla Lungu to hear a little bit about her, and she'll be able to share why she believes she's a better candidate than the rest who are out there. But before we get to that point, Priscilla Lungu, welcome to our show.
Good morning, and thank you so much for having me.
Good. It's always good to see people getting involved in the electoral process, especially young people and young females. I take it for granted that you are a young woman. Tell us a little bit about yourself before we get the show on the road. People need to know who Priscilla Lungu is, your education, your background, where you grew up, and anything fun that you want people to know. Take it away.
Okay, so Priscilla Lungu was born in Lusaka. I did my primary school in an area called Garden, and then within then we called it Mandevu Constituency. We are now, due to delimitation, we were given a new constituency called Roma. And so we are in Roma Constituency. I grew up there. I have done my education, grade 1, grade 2, until I went on to secondary school within that same constituency. Yes, and so when I finished grade 12, I then went to the University of Zambia. I did my public administration and library and information science. I then went to, lecture at Zika, NIPA, and in these colleges in Lusaka. Yes, and then I joined politics around 2016, though in the background, So from 2016 and then 2021, I decided to contest for the first time as a councillor. The same ward I am contesting even this time around. So in 2021, I actually lost. And so this is my second attempt. Basically, that's about me. I'm a young lady, yes. Yeah.
Also, this is your second coming. Hopefully, your second coming of Priscilla Lungu will be a successful one.
Indeed, that one is guaranteed.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say the second coming, but anyway, yeah, you get the point. Yeah, so you started out in 2021, and then this is your second attempt. In 2021, tell us a little bit, did you contest under the same party that you are contesting now, or have you made any adjustments?
Okay, so 2021, apparently we didn't have this political party. I belong to a new political party, and people do not know much about it. It's a party called National Reconciliation Party for Unity and Prosperity. In short, it's just NRPUP. So this is a party that is led by Honorable President Brian Mundubile, and then they're working with Honorable Vice President running mate now, Makepi Zulu. So we are in an alliance. Tonse with Pamozi. We call it Tonse Pamozi Alliance. And so we never had the two alliances then. What we had, and so I contested on a party, Democratic Party, then led by President Harry Kalaba, the president who's running Citizens First now. So, yeah, you know, issues in Zambia, political parties somehow never even, the issues that, you know, concern them, they never even, you know, get to another level. And yeah. And so that's really what happened in 2021. I contested on a Democratic Party ticket, led by President Harry Kalaba then. So we have new political party holders, so to say, now. So I then decided, I think 2 years ago, to join the Patriotic Front, and I believe you all know what really happened to the Patriotic Front, those issues, and then here we are. It's a long story. Here we are in Tonse Pamozi Alliance. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I take keen interest. I am sort of an outsider because I know it's been so many moving parts, especially when it comes to the this party. That I've heard of Tonse, I've heard of Pamozi, I've heard of this, and I've heard of that. But anyway, so you are with, is it NPR? National
NRPUP. NRPUP.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so
yes.
Okay, and then it's led by Brian and Mundubile.
Really? So in short, if you could just say Tonse Alliance. So because there's so many political parties in that alliance, so in case you don't want, yes. And our symbol is a lamp, so you cannot miss it. So it's a lamp, like light, then the lamp. Yeah.
Okay. So talk to us a little bit about at what point did you realize that you wanted to venture in politics?
Oh, okay. 2016. You know, we had sat in an office. That was a time when Edgar Chagwa Lungu, the late, won elections. And so, you know, everybody in the office was celebrating. Oh, okay, so we actually thought President HH would win this election. And so somehow I thought, I think I could also do it. And my colleagues in the office actually said, yeah, we would support you. I think you can make a good leader. And then just there, I started developing interest. And that is how I started slowly. So then in 2021 itself, I joined a political party. Sorry, I have to take you a bit backwards. A political party that is now in an alliance with the UPND. Okay, so it was just a small political party in the same year, 2021, and then I was appointed as the national treasurer for that political party. Progressive party, it's called Progressive Party, National Progressive Party. It's led by a man called Leslie. Yeah, so they are now, even now, still in that alliance with the UPND. So from there, that was 2021 itself, because I could not be adopted. I was nominated here to contest in that party, you know, and then I could not be adopted. Remember, there was that alliance which still stands up to now, the UPND alliance. And so political parties could slot in their members that could, you know, contest on UPND alliance. And so I was not adopted by the UPND. I was then confronted or asked by Democratic Party leader, one of the leaders, you know, if I could contest on their ticket. And because I was looking for, you know, to joining a political party that could, you know, support me, you know, and then I was adopted by a party called Democratic Party. And that is how I stood and contested on that party in that same year, 2021. So if you look at time, I personally did not have enough time really to do my research, but then because I wanted to contest and there was a vacancy and even the political party wanted to field a candidate in my ward, the same Mulungushi Ward, just had to, accept and did that. And that's how I started my serious political journey. Yeah, so 2021, then I gave myself a break. 2022, after losing an election, you want to recover from the stress, the fatigue. So I gave myself about a year or two. I then got back to the people, and I've been working, supporting women, men, and just within my community and outside. So from then until now, I found myself actually, the Tonse Alliance approached me, specifically Patriotic Front leaders. You see, my ward is comprised of two political parties. I would tell you that there are other political parties, but the major ones, the ones that have structures, political party, winning an election involves that you belong to a structure, right? Or that you have numbers or you have a lot of people to support you, the grassroots. And so area is just comprising of two political parties. The other ones, yes, they are socialist, but not as you would, So you have UPND and Patriotic Front. And so because the incumbent then was already UPND, a councillor. So I was approached by the PF, who then did not have a candidate to field. And I realized, I did my research, looked around, every person I approached in my area actually had told me that they were looking for somebody like me that could contest on their ticket. And that is how last year I decided to go for them, and because the support was massive, so it was either UPND or Patriotic Front. And that's how it's been. Even now, it's just the two political parties that are competing, really, what to say. And that's how I started. And here I am, and then was adopted, filed my nomination. I think that was 2 weeks ago on the same ticket, the NRA PUP, the Tonse Pamosi Alliance. And we are in the campaign period, by the way. Campaigns have started, and looking forward to the peaceful campaigns. So far, so good. My area is peaceful. We pray that we continue like this.
Okay, yeah. So the question I have now is, you joined politics in 2016, and was there something specific that you were looking to address, or what specific issues or experiences pushed you to take up this role?
Okay, so I looked at about 2 to 3 items that I realized had a gap. So I looked at my area and just how best I could, pay back. I would say pay back, offer my service back to my community. Remember, I grew up in that area, did my primary school, went to the university because of that very area. So I needed to pay back to my community. I was looking at how best I could offer my service to my community, looking at where I'm coming from and what am I today? Who am I today? What made me go to school? My father passed away when I was in my second year at the University of Zambia. And so within my community was an NGO that sponsored my education until the 4th year of my university. And so that NGO still stands up to now. And university fees are very expensive. And so they were paying 100%. And on top of that, were giving me an allowance to keep me for the whole month. So every month, pocket allowance, and plus them paying my school fees. That was a rare case. And if we could, yes. And so I thought to myself, here I am, I'm who I am because of ABCD. And so how can I pay back? Really, that's what touched me and made me realize I needed to pay back in any small way I could. And so that is why I am there even now. I lost the first attempt, and I believe I'm going to win in August. I want to just appreciate. By the way, the schools I attended, my teachers are still there, and now we are colleagues. So I just go there and we are colleagues, and yeah, looking and so proud that I am here and all that. So, and also wanting to assist, people that have failed to get to where I am because of number one, maybe school fees, educational fees, and just the well-being, the environment. Other people come from environments that are not even, I would say motivative. Sometimes we get to, finish school, our studies, and get to acquire certain qualifications because of the environment that we come from. That sometimes it happens that way. Yeah. So many people are surrounded by, I would say, in this environment where there's a bar next to them and they feel, okay, so when I wake up, the next thing is just to go and get drunk, and the day goes like that. Or when I wake up, it's 16 hours, I need to go and do prostitution. Or when I wake up, I'm just going to sit there and start, gossiping, and that's what they do. So there's all that around them, and yeah. So for me, I want to assist one or two that really need my assistance politically. And looking at the CDF allocation, which I have realized only goes to a specific same people that benefit from that allocation of the CDF, CDF fund. And so I would want that everybody else had a share, in that CDF. And obviously, the people I grew up with have already gone, but the young ones that are growing up, I would want that everybody's equal share of the allocation and transparency and just making our community a better place. So I just want to play my role as me, and then, yeah.
All right, so we're going to take a short break, and then we'll be right back with Priscilla Lungu. She is contesting the Roma Ward as a councillor under the Tonse Alliance. So we'll be right back after a few seconds and continuing the conversation. So at this point, like, share, and subscribe to the channel so that you are not missing all the good things that are coming from our broadcasting. Right, so we are continuing the conversation with Priscilla Lungu. She is standing under the Tonse Alliance, contesting as a councillor, and the election in Zambia will be held in August 2026. The campaigns are in full swing, and I hope there is peace out there. There are no panga. Are there any pangas out there when you're on these campaigns?
No, not in my area, and we are in the campaign period, but guess what? I think this is the first campaign period we've had where there's no much activity. It's not that serious. Like, we are not yet there. I don't know what politicians are waiting for. There's usually music over. Yes, just the moment we hit campaign day. Now, it's rare that you would even wonder, everybody's asking, really, are we in the campaign period? People don't have money. There's no circulation. There's no less money. So I think even political parties, by the way, even funders, like some of us female politicians, were promised by funders and NGOs that they would give us money. I personally have not received anything. Every organization is still saying, no, just hold on. Or no, we're still waiting for funding. And we are just left about 60 days to the poll day. Yeah.
Could it be that maybe the system believes that the current government is on track. That's why maybe there isn't much of activity. Would you say that?
Nah, I would just say that there's no money in circulation because we're going to see serious activities. All politicians I have asked are saying, hey, there's little money. Regarding, I would just say people are broke. Not that I want. So we
Okay.
wait. I'm sure, yes.
Okay. I guess it's a waiting game, right?
It
All
looks
right.
like a few individuals I have asked are saying, I don't want to finish my money now. I'll start next month. So I believe politicians also have their own strategies. So we wait. We wait.
So what this brings me to this question. As a young woman entering politics, what challenges have you faced and how have you overcome them?
Oh, so for me, politically, I think the chat number one as a woman, there's issues of they call them name calling.
Mhm.
Yes, social media name calling, cyberbullying in short. Yes, where people would, will say all sorts of things on your page. Others would just call you, others would confront you physically, wanting you to have, there's what we call sextortion now.
Mhm.
That does apply to me, but other female politicians have complained about sextortion, where male counterparts have had, wanted to advance themselves on female politicians in exchange for something. Essentially, this time that there was a process of adoption. There are
Mhm.
other female politicians that had to go through all that. Apart from just the sextortion, I think even the issue of bribery, in many political parties, people have received, they say a token, nichekereko in Nyanja, we say nichekereko or brown envelope,
Mhm.
where you say, okay, if you have to be adopted, give me this much. So those things have happened and they are there. And it's very unfortunate that female politicians are very vulnerable. But I'm confident that, there's this, there are what we call toll-free numbers. If
Mhm.
there's any female politician that has experienced that or you are experiencing that, you could easily call. There's 116, there's 241. There are those toll-free numbers that you could simply dial. And then there's help that is given to you instantly, as long as you have the evidence that that advancement from a male counterpart wanting you to, bribing and, all these things, corruption and all those extortion, all those activities happening, unhealthy activities. So I've had that here and there, but guess what? If you know what you want, you still need to focus and just get what you want on merit. Just like I got my adoption letter, it just come, and this is what takes me to a saying, God's time is the best, because you don't fight for what belongs to you, For me, I underwent the primary elections, they call them, where they invite the ward officials. If you are a councillor, you will have to go through that. If you are a member of parliament, you are aspiring, you have to be interviewed and go through those interviews. Yes, and so I had to go through the thorough interviews and by the ward officials, where you submit your application later. Then they question you. They'll have to ask in the community if you are known. Obviously, they would not just adopt a candidate that is not famous. They say politics is about numbers. So you want to feel the candidate that is, who will give you a win at the end of the day. So I went through that transparency process Until the adoption date came, I just received a phone call that there was a letter for me, and I quickly went without paying anybody, not even a 10 kwacha. Yeah, I did that. And then there are also other female candidates that had to go through hell for them to receive just an adoption certificate. So situations sometimes vary. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So now, is there a specific issue that you are seeing the current government hasn't performed well that really sticks out and puts you in this position where you are contesting? So what are some of the things that you are very much focusing on and hoping to make some adjustments in those spaces?
Yes, at local government level, because that is where I belong. I don't want to talk about presidential or national issues. So looking at the local governance, remember the government has given us about 40 million CDF allocation per year, which is an increment. Then we used to have a 1.6. Now from 1.6 we get to a 40, which is received every year. So the CDF, the Community Development Fund. And so what I have seen around it is that 40,000 looks like it's never utilized. I don't know where the money goes because I can't point at where that 40,000 goes, really, when I look at my community constituency at large. If that is allocated every year and we have 5 years, we should have a lot of infrastructure, we should have good roads, we should have sanitation, we should have all that. Less complaints, really, less complaints. And so I realized that I needed to take up a step and see exactly what that happens. Remember, I am going at that level of being a councillor, not because I don't qualify to be a member of parliament or I don't qualify to hold other positions. Local governance is something that I have taught when I was lecturing at university. And so I have done the theoretical part of it. I want to practice. So that is why I decided to take myself to that level of being a councillor so I could understand everything that goes on apart just from me having the theoretical knowledge, but the practical part of it. So I want to understand how that 40,000 is utilized in a year and who gets the projects, because what I hear around is within a community, for example, there is a construction of a market, for example. So you would want, obviously, to recruit the people, to construct that school or market within that community, so they could also benefit. There's job creation there. There's all that. So what I see is somebody will come and construct a school for you. They are given a tender. They won it. They are coming from elsewhere. And then they do that. So who benefits? And they come with their own, human resource. They do that, it ends there. So where is the benefit from the community? What I want is projects that are given to specific, areas be utilized, be, opportunities be given to the locals. So like that, money is circulating around there. You have less so-called junkies, you call them, because in the morning, really, if I go to the market, I always find certain people, we call them junkies, drunkards. Yes. So it's 8, some others as early as 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock. You wonder whether they've got homes or do they have homes or not. You find them drinking those small sachets of, liquor. And so for me, those are the ones that I have to target to do manual work and have a life for themselves. Yeah. So apart from that, my community does not even have an office for the councillor. So I would want, visibility. I would want people to have access to what is happening in their community, because many of them do not know even where to go, where to report to. Certain cases just require that there is a representative. But if there's no representative like a councillor in this case, where do they go? They'll rush to a police, even when it's not a police case. So I'm stepping up because I want to represent my community, and I want them to have easy access to what their needs are according to government allocation. And that's most of them CDF and all that. So youth empowerment, there's that 10%, allocation from the CDF. Many of them do not have access. Like I said, we don't get to see who is benefiting from that youth allocation, from the women, from the grants, we don't get to see. So we just want to be as transparent as possible, where people can easily access these facilities that are given to them by the government. Yes.
All right. So the follow-up question is, if elected councillor, what would be your top 3 priorities in the first year?
Number one, my priority number one is putting up an office. When you win, people want to see you. They want to get to have opportunities. People are supporting us now. There are others that are just voluntarily printing out flyers for us, voluntarily. Others are getting t-shirts for us. Others are, so they would want to see what you are capable of doing. They have seen potential. So number one, I want to look at office space. Office space, big enough where there will be secretary. I could attend to the people maybe twice a day, but there would be a person that would be receiving, concerns. Number two, I want also to put up a skills development office, where these so-called junkies that I'm talking about could have something to do. If they are good at cooking, they could do what is called food management. If they feel to do carpentry, they do all those skills. Remember, the government has already allocated fund for that. So it's gonna be easy like that. If we do that, we will reduce on thefts and or etc. Apart from that, there's some few roads that I have seen that are very deplorable. Of course, a councillor can't build a road, so you work hand in hand with whoever shall win as a member of parliament. They can push the agenda, in parliament, and then we could have at least few roads in my area that need a touch. Most of them are good. So that's number one. I said office space. Number two, road construction, those that are very deplorable, a few of them. Number three, I want to work on street lights. It gets so dark in other areas that, in the night, people are attacked, and they've complained a lot. So I also would want to work on street lights. Sorry, I know you said 3, but I have a list of them. There's also issues of land rates. That is a major concern in Kalundu and Olympia. We feel that we are being exploited, so to say. Our rates are so high. If you go to other, areas, it's not much as we pay. And for us, there's no standard rate. You will see a bill coming 3,000, 6,000 per 6 months or per month, and there's just a lot that is happening, and that is why I would want to work with a mayor that's also up there, so we move things accordingly. Yeah, so the list is quite long, but I think we'll get there.
All right, so now, why should people vote for Priscilla Lungu?
Number one, they just need to try me because I'm a woman. I know the needs of people. I'm passionate, and I've got good ideas that I would want to bring to the table, and that is why I want people to get to me and have access to me and air their complaints to me, because what we have had the past 5 years, we've not seen our councillor around. We've not seen anything that has happened in our community. And so there's no need of bringing back somebody that has already failed. So let's try out the energetic female leader that is very confident and courageous and easily lobby things to get done. Yeah, so I ask for that vote.
And what message do you have for other women, young girls out there who are looking up to you?
Okay, so number one is that them being courageous and confident. If they feel they have a passion, they can join politics. If you feel you do not have, please don't force yourself. So you could also choose other careers. So just follow what your heart tells you, pray about it, and just do what you have to do. Number two, if you want to join politics, be clean, respectful also, be a good listener, because it's the people that elect you, and so you have to listen to their needs. They're the ones that also feel what has to be changed. So listen to them and do what you have to do. If you are promising, make sure that you promise and fulfill. So people take you seriously and like that. But be confident, like that. Other women have done it. We have the Dora Silias of this world. They were in politics, and there they are pursuing other careers. We have the Sylvia Masevos who have been there since UNIP time, and they are there now. And so if others have made it, we can also make it. Yeah. And besides, as women, there should be somebody to speak for us or speak on our behalf. And so that is why we encourage as many women as possible, as many young ladies as possible, to step up and join politics. It's not as dirty as you think. No, it's not. But obviously, you need to have your own principles so that you pursue and get to where you want to get.
All right. And the last question I have for you is, when down the line here is Priscilla in her past her prime, what, or when your leadership story is told, when you are up there in age, what do you hope people will say about Priscilla Lungu? What type of legacy do you want to leave behind?
I want to leave a special legacy, that this is a woman who built us that school. She lobbied and pushed, and we had a school. This is a woman that did that road. She lobbied with her MP, and they did that school. This is a woman who made sure that those children that did not have an opportunity to go to school, made sure that they finished, they completed, they got to the university, and they're working. This is a woman that had this legacy, left an impact in the society. I want to leave a mark in my area. 10, 50 years from now, people would be looking at what I will have done. And that's exactly what I want to do. I want to impact individuals and just communities.
Well said, Lady Priscilla. Right, so we've been talking to Priscilla Lungu. She is contesting for the Roma Ward as a councillor. She is running under the Tonse Alliance. She's a candidate for the Mulungushi Ward in Roma Constituency. What ward number is that?
19.
19, yes. So she's contesting under Ward 19. So if you like what you've heard, by all means, vote for her. You have the good thing about politics is that people get to choose the candidate that they resonate with, somebody that they feel has their best interest at heart. So we are thankful to have had this chat with you, Priscilla, and we wish you well as you look beyond to 2026 in August. So all the best, and thank you for joining us on Leadership Files.
Thank you so much for having me. I look forward to being here again.
Thank you. Yeah, we look forward to after the elections. We hope we can connect and we can see where things are. So thank you for joining us. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.